but general in terms of care, even chronic conditions. Presently, diabetes is a problem, hypertension is a problem, and it's rising gradually. So we have to think in terms of general health. There is a saying that mens sano in corpore sano. The wealth of the nation depends on the well-being of the citizens. And we must target that and make it a priority. We must insist that the agenda of the various political parties must include that aspect of, prioritization for the industry. And I think from what is happening, even health workers are now coming out to demand that certain things should be done within the health sector. Times gone, there were so many strike actions. These days, we don't hear it that much. But they are asking that the necessary conditions prevailing at the health sector should be such that they themselves will be protected, as well as the patients. So government will have to prioritize.
Yeah, Mr. Boche wants to make some intervention.
In terms of making it a priority, we are in a very interesting time around this time. COVID is leading us into political activities and is leading us into elections. And I know all parties are writing their manifestos and so on. We as a society and as people who are concerned with the pharma sector are looking at, expecting that in this period, with the lessons we have learned and the fact that we can be very vulnerable when it comes to these things, what is going to be in manifestos, what are going to be captured in terms of looking beyond the COVID and then the pharma industry, and what type of support systems that governments would want to put in place. And I think it's important that this is looked at critically in this period.
Exactly. Dr. Apia, let me come to you. You see, I'm using the Oxford example again. Until COVID, they call it the Denti laboratory or something. It had been abandoned. So if you go to Oxford, they call it the dusty corner. But because of COVID, it's been revived. And now they are leading in trying to come out with a vaccine. For those of you into research, generally, not even just plan, is it that we don't see what you do, that's why we don't pay too much attention to you? Because if you are not bringing us results, then we won't pump money into it. Or you are bringing results, but you are just not being listened to.
I think the way I'll put it is that...
Your mic, we can't hear you well.
Yeah. As a nation, first of all, we have to think about how we would ensure that all of us are healthy. And then we have to look at what we have and what we don't have. We all inherited what we call plant medicine. Our ancestors were using it, and people are still using it. In fact, WHO will tell you that about 70% of the African population use plant medicine. So we have something here. And for us to make sure that we take care of the health of the population without spending so much money, formulating what we have for the population to use. There are plant medicines that can treat various diseases. In fact, there are certain conditions when you have, people will tell you that it's better we use herbs. So these are things that we have, and we should consider them as resources. And I think the pharmaceutical sector should really look at that area and then develop it, and be able to convince government that if we look at this area, we develop it, the raw materials are here. And the people who produce the raw materials, it will be creating jobs for them. It's going to boost the economy. It's going to reduce our importation of materials related to drugs. If we are able to do that, then I think that we will make some headway with reference to the pharmaceutical center doing something or preparing drugs of local origin.
Okay.
So I think that is what we have to look at.
All right. So if you're watching us, we are coming to you live from the Nat Hall. This is the 3rd edition of the Ghana Pharma Summit. And it's on the theme COVID-19, the capacity of the pharma industry, what lies ahead. My guests have been, or as my guests that I'm talking to, on my immediate left is Mr. Ben Boche, who is the president of the Ghana Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana. Then we have the executive secretary of the Ghana Pharma Manufacturers Association of Ghana, Lucy Adai. Then we have, we've been talking about how we receive the news of the COVID-19, the challenges and the capacity of the Pharmaceutical Society here in Ghana. Now, we go on to the last leg before we invite the media to ask a question, which is what lies ahead? And I'll begin with you, Dr. Raymond Tete. What should we be looking at, say, 10 years from now? What should the Pharmaceutical Society be looking at 10 years from now? Or what do you expect to see 10 years from now? Well, I'm making it a bit long. Or, President, you think it's too short? 10 years is enough. Yes.
Yeah, I think 10 years is enough. Well, presently, we in the academia will ensure that the capacity that will be available will be capable of providing what is needed for the country to move ahead. But beyond that, it's very important for government to make commitments, as it said in their manifesto, to support the pharma industry, not only in terms of, providing finances to, support whatever they do, but in reaching out to them with the necessary, in all aspects, so that we wouldn't wait for such a thing to happen and then we would now start crying for, support. So that will be assured. And then also, we ourselves as individuals will also have to be a bit more educated. Maybe sometimes the literacy is a challenge to us. We need to know what to do to protect ourselves as individuals. In other words, health workers should also reach out more to the general public. We take things for granted. And so we are not too much concerned about our health. We hardly, cholera 2-3 years ago was a problem. And it shouldn't happen. These sanitizers that are being produced, if COVID had not been a problem, they will be on the shelves and, hardly would they move. Looking forward, we should engage more. Let people adopt